All right, y'all. So let's move on with the show and let's get into our next or final movie topic before we get to all the messy drama. Cujo, a Stephen King novel, who we've got a movie of it back in the 80s, is getting a remake courtesy of Netflix. So yeah, Netflix is jumping into the whole Stephen King situation. And according to Deadline, well, I'm sure y'all probably know what the movie's about. If you don't, it's basically about a movie. It's basically based on a novel, Stephen King's novel, about a mother and a son who get trapped in their car while protecting themselves from a rabid dog. The novel, according to Deadline, said was first turned into a 1983 thriller that starred Dee Wallace as a mother desperate to protect her son from a formerly friendly 200-pound Saint Bernard that has been bitten by a rabid bat and turns into a ferocious, calculating hound that leaves a trail of bodies. Now, mother and son get stuck in her small car and that won't start, and their choices are to battle it out with the rabid, oversized hound or risk heat stroke in a hot car. The film was one of many adaptations of King's thriller bestsellers that turned into film hits. Now, King continues to be as prolific as ever because, we're getting a bunch of movies that's supposed to be coming out based off of Stephen King novels. So we're getting Never Flinch, which will be the next one published, and he's working on a third installment of The Talisman, but his backlist continues to be golden. The Osgood Perkins directed adaptation of King's short story The Monkey just came out, and upcoming are the Francis Lawrence directed The Long Walk, the Edgar Wright directed Glenn Powell star The Running Man, and the It prequel Welcome to Derry, with Andy Muschietti directing, the Jack Bender directed The Institute, and a series adaptation of Carrie with Mike Flanagan directing. So, and we also have adaptations of more recent King novels, including Fairy Tale with Paul Greengrass and Life of Chuck with Mike Flanagan again. So yeah, people are really digging into Stephen King's books, and I feel like we're in a time now where people could properly develop a lot of Stephen King's work, and it works because there are more options, especially like you can go on, like they said, with Netflix. You can go with streaming. They're doing a Carrie TV series. It'll be interesting to see how they work that out, because how are they going to make a Carrie series work, and how many seasons are we getting? Is it a limited series? Like that I'm definitely curious about. I'm also curious to see The Running Man, because I love the original with Maria Conchita Alonso and Arnold Schwarzenegger. So I'm definitely curious to see how they're going to make that work. And you want to know something? If you ever seen The Running Man or read the book, it definitely feels the timing could be more perfect for that type of subject matter to be brought up, especially in the world we're currently in. Welcome to the oligarchy. So that is, I'm going to be interested in. I have not seen The Monkey yet, but I am curious to see it. I'm sure if I waited like maybe a couple more weeks, it'll be on digital. So I'll just rent it at home and check it out like everything else. Movies are in theaters for like 2 weeks and already it's on, digital. So there's really no point for me running. And Welcome to Derry, we're still waiting on when that's supposed to be coming out. I heard they pushed that to 2026. Now, in regards of Cujo, I do think that it is time for Cujo to get a remake. Now, I love the original with Danny Pintaro, Jonathan, who's the boss that played the son, and Dee Wallace. And if y'all read the book, which they did make a slight change, the son dies in the book, but he doesn't in the movie. So it'll be interesting to see how they make this whole dynamic work, because I do love the original Cujo, this lovable Saint Bernard that was just drool. It kind of reminds me of my dog Xena, but she's like a Shar-Pei bulldog mix, and she drools a lot too. So that kind of reminds me of like, oh Lord, they're about to make a movie kind of similar. Well, she's not. Well, Saint Bernard bulldog. They all kind of have that whole look to them. So it seemed like this rabid, drooling, gross-looking dog just trying to kill people. Let's see how they make that work. Please be good and not kind of go in the direction of the recent Wolfman movie that came out, which I know a lot of people was like, it was not a good film. So I'm really looking forward to this film. I hope they do it justice, and I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what Netflix is going to do. But that also got me nervous too, because every time Netflix gets their hands on adapting a movie or even throwing money at a movie, movies turn out to be crap. Like most recently, what is it? I forget the name of the movie, what it's called. With the Electric State, I think it's called, with Millie Bobby Brown and Chris Pratt. They were talking about like that movie is god awful. So it's just like Netflix usually gets their hands on stuff. It always gets me nervous when it comes to movies. TV shows, they're much better at for the most part. But movies, it's usually more miss than hit, but I got my fingers crossed that the people that are going to be behind it, and I believe they did say who's the person who's going to be producing um these films, or maybe I don't have that information in front of me, but yeah, hopefully the movies doesn't suck is what I'll say. So I ask all of you, what do you guys think of this story regarding we're getting a remake of Cujo? Like I said, I love the original movie. I think oh yeah, I did buy it. I have like the digital release. I mean, I did buy it on digital. So usually every now and again when I'm in the mood, I will put that movie on and I'll watch it. But I enjoy the original. But look, it needs to be remade for a modern audience. And I don't mind modern. I mean, if they want to remake something, as long as it doesn't suck. So we'll just have to wait and see if Netflix finally delivers a good one in regards to their, movie choices. So let me know what you guys think of this story in the comments down below.